Sueur. So it will be full English, no French.
Of course.
So
No French. Oh, that's good. my French is not like really good. So
all right, so let's start. So basically, my first question, Rico, is you're having an heavyweight tournament this weekend. That's personally, I think that's a pretty risky move for a champion of your caliber. What made you accept this offer by Glory?
yeah, I think you're right. But on the other hand, there was no good replacement.
Okay.
So it was hard to find like the right replacement that was like in line for a title fight. So yeah, Glory was looking at some options, and by looking at some options, they checked a few people, and they were all willing to fight. And then they discussed with me, and yeah, that's how it went like back and forth. And then they came with the solution, like, hey, why don't we do like a 4-man tournament? And yeah, so I thought about it and said, yeah, why not? Because my title is not going to be on the line, but
Exactly.
even though my title is not on the line, it's my reputation. So, and that's maybe maybe even bigger.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be it like you said, it's a risky move, but still, I like the sport, and we just like to build it. We're going into a new era now with this whole pay-per-view thing. So yeah, let's just build the whole brand. Let's see where it goes.
And is there also a change of strategy from your part? Because, I mean, in terms of the way you approach fight, you meticulously game planning for your opponents, destroying them step by step, round after round. But that with the heavyweight tournament, it's bringing, let's say, some excitement back because you will have potentially 2 fights in one night.
Of course, it brings a lot of excitement and a different strategy as well. Because normally I sink into my fight. We have some rounds to get into it and like build it all up, and from there on take my normally I take my opponents to into the further rounds, like the championship rounds. And because I like to, like I said, sink in the fight and just feel out for a little bit. But when we're 3 rounds, the pace is much higher. So yeah, we got to start right away. We got to make sure, we don't leave nothing behind, and and of course, keeping in mind you got another fight coming up afterwards.
And do you think that you will change your style, or you will act as always?
No, I will act as always,
Okay.
because my style, I think, works on everybody, and the only thing I'm going to push is the pace.
All right. And what are your plans after this big return? Because obviously there's the trilogy waiting against Jamal Ben Sadiq, but is that always still in your mind for the future?
Not really, actually. So for me, this was his chance, and whatever happened, and let's see what's gonna happen afterwards. It's like now it's already been like for him like 2 years that he didn't have a fight. So whatever. I'm like I said, I'm now focused on this weekend. That's most important for me now, and what happens in the future, and we'll see what's next for me. So let's first get by this new adventure. And
yes, but I'm pretty sure there won't be any issue for you. But I mean, obviously for you there were rumors about you going to MMA, but you signed a new contract with Glory. But obviously at this time you've been a champion for so long. There's the trilogy against Jamal, the trilogy against Bader, but it seems that nowadays that won't be it. So is there any other challenge for you that you would like to take part?
Well, like you said, there are some trilogies coming up that would be nice. We have some talks, or I heard Glory was having some talks with yeah, some old heavyweights. So with Tyrone Spong
Hmm.
and with Gurkhan Saki. So they're all like nice opponents to fight if they come back into the Glory roster. So yeah, let's see how it goes. And like I said, I'm just enjoying this so much. And yeah, of course, I made my new contract with Glory, so I'm there for another few years. And for me, of course, I thought about going to MMA, but it's just like not my basic ambition to
Hmm.
go there.
But do you think that you have already completed the game in kickboxing? Because it seems that now that Glory needs to find some new opponents. So as you said, some old heavyweights, some legend, because they're like, okay, we look at our rankings and yeah, he's already
Yeah,
done it.
we fought them all. We fought them all. So, but that's good. That's good. Why that we have some new talents now.
Mhm.
So we have Richters. That's new.
Exactly.
Kebabas. That's new. So yeah, we have some. They're still looking, and at every moment there can like pop somebody up. So, and I think it's good to just build everything up. And do I feel still triggered? Yeah, because every fight is different. Every night is different because you never know what might happen. What might happen in that fight? Because maybe last time it was my night, and this time it would be his night. I try, of course. That's why I work so hard. Try to not let that happen, but you never know. That's why I'm so focused. And yeah, I never underestimate nobody because yeah, every fight is a fight. And it's not like a game or oh, you lose, okay, we'll do it again. No, it's just that you got to shine at that moment.
You've had some legendary victories. Which one has been the most satisfying for you?
Whew, the most satisfying victory. I think for me, which the one that's still on top is like the first time I became champion in
All right.
2013 when I fought Saki and Gita in one night,
Mm-hmm.
because that was the moment like my dream became reality. So that's like for me the moment that my life changed, like with everything, with world champion status, money wise, and just the whole way of living and your mindset just changed. And yeah, your life goal for me, my life goal was to become kickboxing world champion. And when that happens and that dream becomes reality, yeah, you're just like, whoa, okay, now we got to maintain this.
All right.
Because yeah, at 24, I was the youngest champion in 20 years. So 20 years earlier, it was Peter Arts, who was like 23, I believe, when he became world champion for the first time. So with that in mind and him being my idol, that was like really special.
Mm.
So yeah, being world champion at 24, okay, now I gotta make sure I maintain this and I stay world champion. And I have maintained it till now. So I'm yeah, very proud of that. And now like a goal for me would be champion, be champion for 10 years. That would be amazing.
All right. All right. That's a pretty good challenge. And
Yeah.
you're kind of like, for me, I'm seeing you kind of the perfect fighter, a machine, you know. You have the perfect body, you're coming at the fight with the
Oh,
game plan,
thanks,
and
man.
you're executing this, and that's it. But at the second fight against Jamal Ben Sadiq, it was a bit satisfying, I must admit, to show you express your feelings after the victory. So what happened that night? Is that because you faced a real adversity in the first round, or what happened exactly?
No, that particular moment, just so many things were going on. Like I think, let me see, a few months earlier, my father passed away, and like right before that, my son was born.
Mm.
So just on a personal level, a lot of things were going on. And then, of course, we heard about the fight. I had something to settle with this guy,
Yeah.
and then we yeah go through the whole hype thing. We do the press conference. We get into a stare down. This guy spits me in my face.
Mm.
Then I'm like, what the
Yeah.
hell? That's so disrespectful to do a thing like that. And then from there on, because he did that because I said something to him while we were in the stare down. Well, he spit in my face, and then he runs to the media and is telling like all kinds of lies about why he spit in my face. So this just water that's on the stove that just starts to boil more and more and more. And then finally we get into the fight, and like in the first round, blah blah, we get into the clinch, and this guy tries to headbutt me.
Mm.
Like, what the hell? What is wrong with you?
Right.
So yeah, and then for me, finishing the fight the way I did was, yeah, just like the cherry on the cake.
Mm, exactly. And
And then everything comes out like, oh yeah, that's what happens when you're an asshole.
but basically that was a crazy ending, and we've talked
Yeah.
about your victories, and you've lost a couple times long time ago, but did
Yeah,
that
yeah, but it happened.
help you to go on another level basically?
Of course. I think the fights that I lost were so much more important than the fights that I won,
Okay.
because for me, I've learned so much from that. It's it's been crazy because like from the fights that I've lost, I can say I never really been through like a war or something. Yeah, I've been knocked out or whatever, but I made the mistakes came from my side, and of course, my opponent, yeah, took his advantage from that. But for me, when I look back at those fights, I just look at my mistakes. I'm not looking at my opponent, what he did right. I'm just looking at my mistakes. And from looking at that and seeing those mistakes, I've learned so much. And then confronting myself with the reason why I was making those mistakes. I
Mm.
think that's what was most important for me, because at a certain point you just look at the mirror like, why did I do that? Why did I make that particular choice in that particular moment? And then when you see that and you think about that, it becomes like a very painful thing for me, because I just see the mistake, and the mistake I made, nobody else, not my team, not whoever. I was the one that was making the mistake, and that hurts. That hurts when you're looking at yourself and you're the one responsible for the fuck up. But by doing that, I was putting so much pressure on myself to make sure this doesn't happen anymore.
Mm.
And yeah, from that, like I said, from that, that's what I learned. We fall and we get back up. We fall and we get back up. And that's I think the most important lesson. We make mistakes, we fail, we get back up, we learn, because you learn from it. And the next time you get into a fight in that same situation, try not to make that same mistake. And of course, maybe you're gonna make new mistakes, but that is what it is. It's not the worst thing to make mistakes. I think it's good to make mistakes, because from the mistakes you can learn. You can take the mistakes you made and try to learn from it and get past them.
And
So I
from
think that's what my losses did for me.
Okay, two last questions.
Yeah,
Basically,
fine.
is there any dream fight for you out of any opponents possible today?
No, not really. Not really. I'm so happy with the whole situation and the whole vibe. I mean, and of course, everybody says, yeah, but maybe you can fight like a boxing guy, an Anthony Joshua, or Deontay Wilder, Tyson Fury, or Stipe Miocic. But in the end, on what rules would I fight those guys? Because if they come to me in the kickboxing ring,
Yeah.
my advantage.
Of
If I
course.
would go to MMA, it's his advantage. If I go to boxing, it's their advantage. So it's very hard to balance that out. So for me, it's just the best thing I can do is just compete with the very best heavyweights in the world, and yeah, from there on show that yeah, I'm still the number one.
And I've been following you for quite some time, and I feel that despite your run as Glory kickboxing champion, you still, I mean, in France, you're still kind of underrated. Do you agree with that? Do you think that you have still something basically to prove despite beating all of your opponents for so many years?
No, not really. Depends on, everybody has their opinion. Everybody has their opinion on everything, on the whole COVID situation,
Exactly.
on every fight that comes up, on every fighter, on every person, on every artist that's out there. It's and everybody has their right to have their own opinion. But to live your life by thinking about what other people think about you is not a happy way to live. So I don't do that. It's just I'm so happy with everything I did, and I think I've proven it, and I keep proving it that I'm the very best, and that gets me excited. That gets me pumped up every time. And everybody that doubts me or think they can do better, yeah, make sure you get in the top of the rankings, and maybe we can fight one day, because it's so easy, like, oh, I would do this or I would do that, but he didn't fight this or this didn't happen. But you know like I said, everybody has their own opinion and have their right to their opinion. But yeah, I'm not really bothered with that, because yeah, I just make sure my performances speak for themselves.
All right. Perfect. Thank you very much, Rico. I won't take much
Thank
of
you
your
so
time.
much. Thank you
And
for your time, man, always.